Hello, I am Vinod representing Study Abroad Educational Consultant Chennai. I welcome you all to the webinar on behalf of Study Abroad Educational Consultant and Russian Culture Center. Study Abroad has been an exclusive preferred partner of Russian Culture Center, which is the culture department of Russian Consulate in South India. Study Abroad has been sending students for the past 3 decades to Russian universities for various specialization and to MBBS course in large numbers. Study Abroad is also an exclusive representative of some of the world's leading Russian universities like Kazan State Medical University, Far Eastern Federal University, Medical Institute of MEFI, Volgograd State Medical University, Kursk State Medical University, Russian State Medical University, Moscow Aviation Institute, name a few. So far, Study Abroad has successfully helped about 6,000 Indian students to complete their academic pursuits in the chosen profession in Russian Federation. Every year, around 300 students are admitted through Study Abroad. Study Abroad has been a two-way gate between the parents and the university in Russia in helping admission process. In the process of bringing student, parents, and the university closer, Study Abroad Educational Consultant in association with Russian Center of Science and Culture has been organizing various exhibitions for the past 20 years where the university exhibits their institution to the parents. Due to this epidemic, this year, Study Abroad Educational Consultant has been planning and organizing series of webinars where they make gateway for children and parents to freely interact with the university representatives, to know about the universities and other facilities available to them directly from the representatives. And we are making all the universities available to the children on various dates. Today, we have Mr. Timur Akamatov to talk about MBBS in Russia. He's also a Vice Dean for the foreign students. Before handing over the screen to Mr. Timur, I'll request all the students to mute your mic so that there will be no disturbance at the time of presentation. Now I request Mr. Timur to address the students. So you can continue, sir.
Good afternoon. Namaste. I represent Kazan Medical College, Kazan Medical University. And for those who are new in that admissions and who are interested in education in Russia, you may learn how to get enrolled in our classes. And first, and mainly, I'll explain what are the advantages and what are the opportunities given by our colleges, special aspects of education in Russia, and maybe you have some queries about our climate, about our study facilities, so I'll explain that. My name is Timur Akhmetov. I'm a faculty. I'm a faculty of this college. I teach pathology. My discipline is pathology or pathanatomy. Sometimes we call it pathanatomy, pathology. And I also studied in this college. I got a MD, PhD in this college. And I'll explain educational process. I'll ask our partners in India, Study Abroad Education Consultants, to start a presentation. I have a PPT, PowerPoint presentation with photographs of our city and college, and it will be more convenient to see our facilities in that presentation. Can you please start that PPT?
Yes, sir. 1 minute.
PowerPoint presentation, and we'll see our city, because it's not only college, you also students choose cities, they change the country, they change place of living, and you need to see our surroundings. So next. So I think you don't know many aspects of Russia, but Russia is one of the major European countries, and it has friendly relationships with India, and we not only have trade relationships, but also we have partnership in educational programs. So Kazan is one of the biggest Russian cities. It's known as third capital of Russia. It's 800 kilometers from Moscow, and one of the biggest cities. Is a bridge between West and East. It has a fusion of Eastern and Western cultures. And Kazan is known as city of universities, city of sports, and one of the most comfortable cities in Russia. So Kazan is quite close to Moscow, but not as busy as Moscow. It's mostly dedicated to students and sports. Next slides. So just our Kremlin, Kazan Kremlin, that's not Moscow, but Kazan Kremlin, and it's been renovated. That's dormitory area and the central part with theaters, museums, and students are invited to that theaters and museums. There are special activities. I know, just you're rotating backwards, forward. So students are invited to that cultural places, and not only classes, but also they'll get acquainted with European culture. We have nice opera and ballet theater. We have nice museums of fine arts in the central part of Kazan. Architecture is quite classic European. It's central part of Kazan, near the campus, just 500 meters from campus, central part of Kazan, with parks, and also we have biking passages. Next. That's central part of Kazan, and you can see winter here. Also quite close to our campus. Nice central part of Kazan. Kazan is known as one of the capitals of sports. It hosted several sports events such as aquatic championship and the World Cup, soccer cup, and Universiade, the students Olympics. And also we have lots of sports buildings, and students may also take part in sports activities, to visit gyms or cricket grounds. Kazan, name of city, Kazan, and it's due to our traditions and history. Long time ago, we've been conquered by Mongols, Mongolian Empire, and then we've been conquered back by Russian and Ivan the Terrible, Russians. So we have some Oriental culture and some Oriental festivals and Russian festivals. And after centuries of fusion of religions and cultures, Kazan is a mixture of Western and European traditions. So we can see both Russian festivals, we can see some Oriental and Muslim festivals here. Next. As for climate, Kazan has almost same climate as in Moscow, and in winter is quite cold. It's usually 0 in winter. Usually it's -10 in winter, and in the coldest time, coldest month is January. It is -20, 25 in January. But in January, students are having winter vacations, and during that coldest time, it's not necessary to travel. But it's always warm inside. All of our buildings have heating system, and hostels, college facilities, everything is heated to 25 plus 25. So when it's outside -20, inside it will be plus 25. Plus 25 in every building, every canteen, every cafeteria, it will be plus 25 everywhere. And don't worry about temperature, it's only cold when you travel from building to building. And for that purpose, you need to have a coat and cap, good boots, and you can buy everything, whatever you need here. That's affordable. So in winter, it's usually -10. Next. So in March, still we have snow, and snow melts in beginning of April. In May, it becomes comfortable, and it's almost summer. Trees and everything is in bloom. Very nice time, just May, everything green, fresh, and blooming. And here are our students, and that's some suburbs near Kazan, enjoying the springtime. Next. In summer it's comfortably warm and sometimes even hot. Usually it's +20, but in July it's 30, 35. And for the last week, temperature was more than 30. It was quite hot, 30, 35 for the last week. And today it's a little colder. Today we have +28. Today is +28. And we're expecting +30, 35 for the entire next week. So in July it's 25 to 35 in July. And it's possible to visit our lakes, rivers. We have a very large Volga River just next to city, is 3-4 kilometers width, and we have a Kama, river, very large Kama. It has a name like Indian name Kama, near Kazan, and we even have a so-called Kama Sea near Kazan. It's 40 kilometers Kama, but you need to drive there. Just to reach Kama, you need to drive 50 kilometers to see that very large river Kama. Also, we have Kazanka river and many lakes. And even some of our students, if they stay in Kazan, they do swimming in that beach. We have some beaches, river fronts. So in July, in part of August and June, it's possible to enjoy our climate and near the water. Next, we have even a river port. In autumn, it's very nice time for studies because temperature is not hot and not cold. In September, it's usually +15, and in October, +10. Trees covered by golden leaves, and it's called golden autumn or Indian summer. So it's necessary to wear a light jacket, light coat, but it's comfortable, and particularly comfortable to study in that. September, October, really nice time. In November, it's pre-winter and way to winter. In November, it's usually +5 in November. Then we get some snow in the end of November, and December is usually minus temperatures. That's about our climate. Then December and Christmas holidays. So Kazan has many cultural and religious buildings, and you can see that many mosques and churches are just on the same street. We have fusion of Islamic and Christian religions. Even we have temple of all religions, and centuries of that fusion led to good fusion of religions and great tolerance between various confessions, and we don't have any aggression between religions. Vice versa, we have our people usually celebrate festivals of all religions. So first they celebrate like Christmas, and then they celebrate Eid. So people celebrate all festivals, and students get acquainted to that approach, tolerant approach. Kazan is also very peaceful. Our university is one of the classic Russian colleges. It is run by Ministry of Health of Russian Federation. It's more than 200 years old college. So 206 years old university, established in 1814. So we teach doctors for more than 200 years. And many of those doctors are world famous doctors and scientists. Our university is recognized by World Health Organization, that's WHO, and by all international communities. So our diplomas are recognized, and our graduates are allowed to work in any country. Certainly, every country will have its own screening test for graduates from abroad. They need to pass the test, and some of tests are difficult, particularly American USMLE tests are very tough. But students who studied very well and have good knowledge have this opportunity to continue studies and work abroad in any country, including India. Certainly, many of our graduates come back to India and work in India, because in India, doctors are needed, are welcomed, and India is short of doctors. So India needs 10 times more doctors. So we offer many directions of studies, but our main program is general medicine, MD, general medicine. But according to that Indian government decision, all of diplomas are converted into MBBS. So general medicine faculty will provide you MBBS degree. In India, it becomes MBBS. Actually, you get knowledge equal to MD. You get more knowledge, you get more practice. Students have more access to clinical facilities, so hospitals, and it's actually MD. But in India, it's recognized as MBBS. Maybe in future it will be fully recognized by SMT. It's not only here in Kazan, it's true for every college in Russia. So you only can get MBBS. You can only bring MBBS from Russia. Also, one more difference and peculiarity of Russian education, that education lasts 6 years. So 5.8 years, 6 years. That's duration of tuition, 6 years. And that's according to inter-country agreements. So we have international agreements that, and students need to study in all 6 years. Otherwise, their diplomas will not be fully recognized. So we participate in various exchange programs, and our students even can have practice abroad in Europe or America. I'll explain it later, but we have practicals in summer and 2-3 weeks long practice. And that practice can be done in Kazan, in our hospitals, and we have arrangements with more than 50 hospitals for the summer practice. Also, it can be done in India, in your hometown or in other cities of India. But also, there will be competition, but best students can be sent to America, to Spain, or to other countries for summer practice. So it's possible to do summer practice. Also, we have student exchange program in science. Some short programs or some conferences. Next. As for rankings, our university is among top 5 medical colleges of Russia, and several times we got 3rd or 2nd position. Certainly, even older Moscow and St. Petersburg colleges, they usually win the 1st and 2nd places, but they cost more, and Moscow is a more expensive city in general. So that's why it's very good to be among that Moscow and St. Petersburg in that company. So Moscow University #1, Sechenov, usually gets #1 position in that rankings, and St. Petersburg, Pavlov College is also among the top 3. But Kazan is not far from them. It usually gets one of the first 5 positions in that rankings. So here is a chart with colleges. It includes technical, humanitarian, and medical colleges. And that red stripes for medical colleges. So Kazan has position number, number 30 among all colleges of Russia, including technical, but number 3 among all colleges. Next. So in year 2014, we also got 3rd position. So that all colleges, technical and humanitarian, but among medical, we are number 3. Next. One year we even got 2nd position. In year 2015, we got position number 2 in that rankings. Also, we have experience of teaching foreign students, and currently we have about 20% of foreign students in our university, about 20%, and majority of them are from India. Most of our foreign students from India, but also we have some students from South America, from Africa, from Asian countries, and we have students from almost 50 countries worldwide, but majority from India. So that general medicine faculty is the main program, but also we have dentistry and pharmacy faculties, which are less expensive and shorter. But general medicine is the most popular among Indian students. If you want to know about pharmacy, if you want to know about dentistry, you can ask later. But general medicine, main program, and that's MBBS in India. Program can be divided into 3 parts. First 2 years are theoretical. Second 2 years are early clinical, preclinical, and last 2 years are entirely clinical. So in the first 2 years, students study general aspects of diseases and general aspects of human body structure, and main subject will be anatomy. It's one of the main subjects, anatomy, classic subject. And apart from of anatomy, students will need to learn Latin, because it's a basis for understanding anatomy. And all doctors worldwide, they also learn Latin, because all terms and structures are named in Latin language. And now many Latin terms are incorporated in English, like names of bones, names of blood vessels, taken from Latin language. So that's why one more language you'll need to study is Latin, and it's also used in pharmacology. And then you'll study biology, medical biology, not school biology, but special medical biology, medical chemistry and biochemistry. You'll study enzymes, maybe one more slide back. You'll study enzymes, you'll study how a cell works. Then we'll study histology. Histology is microscopic structure of tissues. That's introductory. Can you return back? Introductory clinical, introductory fundamental disciplines. And this picture, okay, this picture demonstrates that because of large number of Indian students, every year we have about 150 admissions of Indian students. So multiplied by 6 years, that's about 900 Indian students. So if every year we have around 150 Indian students who enter our college, totally on average we have 900 students in Kazan, a community of Indian people. And that's why we had a guest of respected Vice Consul of India to Kazan. And there was a common meeting with our rector. In the top left picture, the photograph of our rector and dean with Vice Consul of India. Okay, next. Now coming back to curriculum, I think that's an important thing. That first 2 years are fundamental, basic, and you study like medical chemistry, medical biology, physiology. Physiology is how body works, body electricity, how we digest food. And that's important to treat disease also. That's introductory things. Then starting from third course can be called preclinical. Third course is preclinical, and you start to learn diseases. First 2 years are mainly dedicated to normal body functions and structure. Then you study diseases, and my subject is pathology. And in pathology subject, you'll learn how body changed by diseases. And we also study how diseases are diagnosed, especially with microscope. Microscope is main tool of pathologists. And also during the same third year, students get some basic clinical knowledge and learn how to perform percussion, auscultation, basic clinical manipulations. It's introduction to clinical disciplines. And then internal medicine. And here you can see a photograph of anatomical theater in Kazan. It's our university's building. Anatomical theater is unique building. Many of those buildings were destroyed during World War II because most of them were in Germany. And in Kazan, building survived. It's unique building, a classic anatomical theater. And the students study on cadavers. Those are bodies of people who died unattended and don't have relatives. If body was not claimed and if person had no relatives, some of such bodies can be given to anatomical theater for teaching students. And on the top of that building is written that here's a place where death helps living. So bodies are handled with respect. And students understand that they learn diseases based on the bodies, cadavers. Next. Also, we have lots of museums. I mean museums, medical museums. Anatomical theater has a museum of skeletons and some organs. Skeletons and organs in anatomical theater. As for my department, we have a large collection of organs affected by disease. So first you'll see normal organs like normal heart, normal brain. And then you'll see how organs are affected by disease. You'll see brain tumor, you'll see myocardial infarction, you'll see peptic ulcer of stomach, so you'll see diseased organs. particularly important for surgeons. So that's anatomical theater, interiors. Next slide. So here is my museum, that's pathanatomy. We have more than 2,000 of specimens in liquid. That's natural preparations of parts of the body, sometimes fetuses or parts of the body and legs, arms affected by disease, and also important for doctors. On the third year, also students will learn pharmacology and microbiology, and will begin surgery. It's the first year of surgery. It's a bridge between fundamental disciplines. Third year is one of the main years, to clinical disciplines. On the fourth and fifth years, students usually have some ideas which specialty to choose. For example, I want to become ENT doctor. ENT, like ear, nose, throat, otolaryngologist. I want to become ENT doctor, or I want to become a urologist. So in senior years, students already need to decide whom to become. General physician, or maybe urologist or gynecologist, or dermatologist. Okay. So from fourth, fifth year, there would be subjects based on that specialization. They would be dermatology, they would be neurology, psychiatry, gynecology, obstetrics. Those are clinical disciplines. We call them clinical disciplines. That's pharmacology, new building of pharmacology department. And also there is new hostel next to that pharmacology department, nice new hostel. Next. So here is how it looks. Our classes, there are two main types of education. Seminars, and in seminars, usually there will be 12 students in a classroom, and there will be teacher and sometimes 10, 12 students in classroom. And in the bottom, on the bottom right corner, you can see my students in my class of pathology use microscope. As I told you, microscope is the main tool of pathologist. So seminars will be for small groups, 10, 12 students in small group. And also there are common lectures for usually about 100 students, common lectures in lecture halls. All seminars and lectures would be in English medium for seminars and lectures. You may ask me about Russian language. Russian language is necessary to know for some subjects on the fourth and fifth courses to contact with patients. I told you that on the fourth and fifth year, students, they see patients in hospital and they study in hospital. And to communicate with locals, with patients, they need to know some Russian. But Russian is not required for admission. There will be also a subject of Russian language. And by year 3, by third year, students will have knowledge of Russian and they'll be able to communicate. They'll be able to actually, I am sorry, but maybe you'd rather type your question and in the end we'll discuss. Maybe you can type in the chat. It will be more convenient to type your question in chat and I'll explain. So Russian language, again, not necessary for admission. Russian, you may have completely no knowledge of Russian, but Russian will be given as subject. From the first year, you'll have anatomy, Latin, there will be physiology, there will be medical chemistry, medical biology. A part of that, you'll have Russian classes. Russian language is not the most difficult subject. I think the most difficult subject is anatomy. I remember myself spending evenings in anatomical theater till 9 p.m. So we've studied, so after classes we stayed and studied anatomy there. So Russian is a subject. Here you can see our groups of international students. So some African groups, there are some African groups also, and Indian groups. So more than 50 countries. Not 565 from India, that's a little old information. Currently we have almost 900, more than 850 students, 850 to 900 students from India this year. Next. So in the senior courses, education becomes even more clinical and students get skills. So one of the advantages of education in Russia, one of the great advantage, that students are allowed to see real patients. So we have classrooms in hospitals and students are taken to wards and they able to see doctors' manipulations and even allowed to observe surgery. Certainly with precautions, with masks, with shoe covers, with aprons, with white gowns. It's compulsory to wear a protective suit and mask in hospital. But in Europe, most of hospitals will not allow students to see patients. In one of the advantages of Russian education, that students are allowed to see doctor at work. But a part of that, students will need to learn and to get skills themselves. It's not possible to let student to operate a patient. It's not possible to the student will be making intravenous catheterization in the real patient. For that purposes, we also have dummies. We have imitate rooms of simulators and center of practical skills. So there are dummies, dolls, plastic dolls to see delivery, to perform injections. Also, some departments will give animal intestines to do stitching, like surgery. And surgery you can train, make a stitching by needles, threads, stitching bowels, using animal bowels or animal skin. Plus we have imitation room, rooms of plastic dummies. So number of foreign students is growing, and also that's why in senior courses we provide some training, coaching. It's included in program. It's not requiring any special payments. Just it's free, included in our course. There will be coaching for MCI screening test. So we use old last year screening tests, and students train with teachers and discuss difficult questions of the screening tests in senior years, because it's important to be ready. Also, we have postgraduate programs, including various specializations like surgery, neurosurgery, like cardiology, obstetrics, gynecology. Also, we have PhD programs. PhD is for future scientists. PhD for scientists and clinical programs. But unfortunately, it's one of the result of misunderstanding between governments. Postgraduate programs are not fully recognized by Indian government. That's why most of our graduates, they return home and have postgraduate programs in India. It's possible to do postgraduate training in Kazan and in any other city of Russia, but such certificate may not work in every place of India. So that's why postgraduate programs usually done at home. So you just get MBBS, return home, and then do a residency in India. It's common plan for most students. But some students know what they want, and some students stay for postgraduate in Russia. It's possible. We have good programs. It's only bureaucratic problem that it's not fully recognized. We have lots of students who already completed our program and already graduated, got degree and passed a residency course in India and now work as doctors. So our students, now our colleagues, they are no longer students, but they are already doctors in various hospitals. Some students now became scientists, turned into scientists or medical officers. Some students even work, our former students now work in Indian Ministry of Health or AIMS. So next. No, I'm busy. Next, please. So lots of photographs with our graduates, and we have community, alumni of our graduates of Russian and Kazan College. Some students from South India already work in South Indian colleges and hospitals, including Chennai. So Tamil Nadu, Kerala states, Uttar Pradesh, various places. Also, we have invited lecturers, not only locals, who teach students. Those are doctors and professors who studied in Russia, but also there are foreign lecturers who visit Kazan. There can be series of lectures for all people, Russian and foreign students, and particularly for foreign students. Next, so our guest lecturers. And I already explained that we have student exchange program. Student exchange programs, including exchange in practical classes, so practicals like hospital observation practice, short observation in hospitals of Europe or Africa, or maybe in India, but in another city of India. Some of students want to have practice in Mumbai. They live in Chennai, but they want to have summer practice in Mumbai as possible. Also, joint scientific programs, and many of our students participate in scientific conferences. Some doctors turn into scientists, so scientists in medicine, and they may make first steps in science in Kazan, and even they are allowed to contribute to science, starting from students' years. So we have laboratories, scientific laboratories, and now just as about fun, there are laboratories available for students, doctors, mostly for PhD students actually, but undergraduate students also may help PhD students. So there will be collaboration of PhD students and undergraduate students. And some of foreign students may also contribute to science and to post some abstract at the conference. Okay, next. And now a part of fun, a part of classes, a part of scientific activities. There will be some festivals available for students, including Diwali festival, including various national holidays, including special students activities like multi-national holidays or Indian festivals, special Indian festivals, including Holi and Diwali. They students celebrate here. Some special festivals in theaters, and also it's a day of first-year student here. Festivals in the hostel, sports activities, including classic activities such as cricket, and special Russian activities such as skiing, skating, football, winter sports like skiing and skating, ice skiing available also. So our students in winter. So if you wear a good coat and good hat, it's comfortable outside, and inside it will be always heated to plus 25. Our students in winter. We have snow everywhere, and our rivers are covered by ice in winter, but it's also a nice place. Admissions to Kazan Medical University. Admissions are done via study abroad educational consultants. Study abroad educational consultants. Those are our official representatives in India. As for our fee, I haven't explained that fees. So our annual fee is 3.8 lakh rupees. 3.8 lakh rupees. That's for every year fee, 3.8 lakh. Plus, you need to pay 12,000 rupees per year for hostel. Actually, not 12, 15. 15,000 for hostel. 15,000 rupees per year for hostel, roughly 1,000 per month. 1,000 rupees per month for hostel. Just a little more, 1,100 for hostel per month. So in a year it makes 15,000. And 3.8 lakh rupees for tuition. So tuition and hostel will cost about 4 lakh rupees. Tuition and hostel. There is discount system. There is kind of scholarship for top students. If student gets all high marks for exams during classes, and all marks are above 90% in exams, if exam marks are more than 90%, there will be 15% discount. 15% discount on tuition fees. So 15% discount from 3.8, it will be 3.2 lakh. So for good marks, there will be discount. And also, if marks are good and excellent, so 40, some marks are good and some marks are excellent, there'll be 10% discount. So 15% discount for good marks as motivator to study better. If it's just passing mark, there will be no discount. But if marks are high, there will be a minus 15 or at least minus 10% from tuition fee. Again, coming back to admissions. Admissions require no exams, no entrance exams, but according to agreements, international agreements, a student needs to get NEET certificate. It's compulsory. NEET certificates. Marks which will be checking that physics, chemistry, and biology, PCB. Physics, chemistry, biology. Those subjects are compulsory for admission, PCB. And English. PCB plus English for admission, because our medium of studies would be English. So, and if you, as soon as you get documents, you need to apply them as study abroad education consultants, because those are official representatives responsible for all of formalities, bureaucratic procedures. They'll be in charge of arranging your documents. Okay, maybe I'll answer some of questions. It's important question when first year will start this year for the fresh students, because as far as I heard, in India the time of NEET is shifted. Usually NEET was performed in June, and this year NEET will be only in September, in the beginning of September, and it will take, I think, 1 month or even 2 months for arranging your documents. That's why I think for year 2020, there will be an unusual case when classes will start not in the 1st of September, but class may start a little later, maybe in the end of October. Unfortunately, it's only because of that later NEET, because NEET is compulsory. Because of late NEET, first year students will start later. So NEET postponed to September, just explained. And course, I think will start in the maybe 1st of November. Just I'll think like plus 2 months. Expect the time of beginning 1st of November instead of 1st of September plus 2 months, I think so. Because of formalities to prepare documents. Maybe earlier, as soon as possible, but unlikely earlier than October, and maybe even November. One more thing, that this year we got used to distant form of education, distant seminars, distant lectures, tests, quizzes, but it's not so good for a doctor to completely study using computer. Yes, you can learn some things, but you'll not be able to get skills, all skills, necessary skills, without seeing patients. That's why we are hoping for earlier end of lockdown, and the main hope that planes will start to fly normally. May just as soon as we get normal flights, there will be normal seminars and in Russia, regular seminars. Before that, we'll begin with distant form, and in September I think there will be distant form of education, distant form with webinars like this one, webinars like quizzes. At the educational portal, we have good educational portal of our university, of our college has good portal in English, also with quizzes, with lectures, with books in that portal. But video education is better. Everyone realizes that, and we are hoping to return to usual classes as soon as possible. As for hostel, we have several hostels in our college, and only one hostel is in campus. Hostel number 1 is in campus. Other hostels are a little away. Most students will get rooms in hostel number 4 3, which are 2 kilometers from campus, 2 kilometers. But Kazan has excellent public transportation, and by bus it takes 10-15 minutes to reach campus. From the street Pioneerskaya, it's quite close. It's even possible to walk, but it will take 35 minutes to walk there, just 15 minutes by bus. Yes, our Indian students live with Indian students. Rooms will be arranged according to that. Even requests, some students may choose whom to live with. Like if there's two brothers or maybe friends, they can ask, can we live in the same room? And often it can be done. Boys and girls live in separate floors. And every floor has a camera, and every building has a guard. And we have a good security system. So girls should not worry, and it's comfortable and safe. I'll explain for hostel first. So rooms are heated, it's always warm inside. We have kitchens available for students, kitchens to cook themselves, common kitchens with several ovens, several inductions, kitchens. And there will be like toilets as usual, there will be toilets, there will be showers and a laundry room in every hostel available for students. So then a question about food. So most students cook food themselves because it's cheaper. Yes, it's possible to go to Indian restaurant and spend something like 800 for dinner or for lunch. So some students spend like lunch for 800, 1000. Yes, it's possible if you eat at a restaurant. In cafeteria, a meal will cost 200-300 for a meal in cafeteria, but it's cheaper to cook yourself because you may buy whatever you want. You may buy whatever you want for cooking. Just food is not expensive. 1 liter of milk, 60 rupees. 1 kg of rice, 40, 50. 1 kilogram of chicken, 100. 1 liter of sunflower oil, 80. Just as for food, yes, it's possible to buy Indian food in Indian restaurants, but it's cheaper to cook yourself. And if students want to save money, usually they'll be cooking themselves. And we can provide refrigerators, and there'll be kitchens for students available. And that's why it's a common thing. Security. We have a security system, and we have ID pass system. I'll show you once again. We have magnetic cards like this, cards with photographs. It's magnetic card. You'll need to apply to gates, which will not open unless you have access. Guests will need to carry passport or other ID document. After 10 p.m., hostels close. There are cameras, and there will be security on duty in hostel. And on the other hand, I can tell you that safety in Russia and in Kazan is very high. And for many years, there were no criminal incidents with our students. So I can tell you that maybe there were a few accidents with students, but they were not criminal type, like traffic accident or I remember one year one student drowned when student has swam too far from beach. Yes, it happened once, but no criminal activity, no criminal events, no ragging, and people in Russia are respecting each other, and people have high respect towards women. Russia is quite feminist country, like America, and women are protected by law, and not only law, by traditions. And so women are respected, and girls should not be afraid of staying in hostel. It's really safe in hostel. So kitchen facilities, so we have kitchens in our hostels. Every floor or every block of rooms, we have some hostels have blocks with 4 rooms in a block. Or we have corridors. Every corridor or every block will have a kitchen with sinks, with tables to cook, with ovens. And so cooking usually done by students. They'll learn to cook. So they have tablets. They open YouTube channels, how to cook food, and they learn to cook themselves. Use that. So they also study food cooking. So yes, not even allowed, but we even have a kind of subject of sports medicine and sports, and even there will be some exercises students will need to master. And even they'll need to make such exercises themselves. And there is extra sports available for students. In university sports, we have gyms, we have playgrounds, football playgrounds, and we have a house for and skating in the park, Gorky Park. Also, cricket teams also available. A part of that, students can buy membership to gym, membership in gym. Per year, it will cost about 10,000 gym membership in gym. 10,000 if it's a regular gym, and about 20,000 per year for gym with swimming pool. Just 10 to 20,000 for gym, just if you want. Yes, it's certainly allowed, but there are lots of free sports. Lots of free sports available. You can run football, or you can buy skis or skates and do some skiing in park. It's possible. Hostels. As for hostels, maintenance of the hostels. So on one hand, hostels are not hotels, and there will be a little less space for students. There will be usually 4 students in a room, and sometimes if you wake up late, they can be lined to shower. That happens particularly among girls, that girls are waiting in line to shower. That like at 7 in the morning, it's quite difficult to get to shower. That's why some girls will need to wake up at 6:30 or 6. Just that's usual hostel life. It's not your personal hotel room with your own shower. Unfortunately, there will be 1 shower for 10 people, and they can be lined to the shower. But as it's managed, actually, students can choose timing. Like one day, 1 student in the morning, another day, another student. It's actually solved. This problem is solved. So hostels are clean. Trash is taken away, and students are required to not to leave trash in the rooms, in corridors. That's what I can tell you. So it's a hostel, but in general they are clean and warm. Clean, warm, but it's hostel. If students feel sick, we have medical insurance for students. Medical insurance, it will cover all infections, all trauma infections, need for surgery. It will not cover dental expenses. For dental expenses, you may go to dental office yourself, but dental service in Russia not so expensive. Treatment of 1 tooth, fixing of 1 tooth will cost 2-3,000. 2-3,000 to treat 1 tooth. If it's not too complicated, uncomplicated tooth will cost 2-3,000, depending on the dental office. But again, surgery, trauma, infection will be treated. So total fee for 5. Actually, our course is not 5, and it's according to requirements of Ministry of Health and standard for Russia. It's a requirement of Ministry of Health. Our course lasts for 6 years. That's why if you multiply 6 by 4 lakh, it will be 24 lakh. 6 years by 4 lakh, so 3.8 for tuition, and 15,000 for hostel, just we round to 4 lakh tuition and hostel, it would be 24,000. If you had no discounts, if you got discounts, it would be less, minus 10, minus 15% for good marks. So 4 lakh per year, 6 years. Only one hostel is inside the campus. Most hostels are about 15 minutes by bus, or 25 minutes of walking.
So can you explain?
Kazan is 800 kilometers from Moscow. Kazan is 800 kilometers. 800. We have our own airport. We have airport, international airport, or you can fly from Moscow to Kazan. From Moscow to Kazan flight will take 1 hour. It's actually 50 minutes to fly from Moscow to Kazan. Also, there are nice trains, night trains, sleeping trains. Trains are a little cheaper than airplanes. So plane flight from Moscow costs 4,000. Train costs 2,000. Night trains are available with sleeping beds. Our trains have beds. So that depends. You may choose. Yes. But it's not necessary to fly to Moscow. If you fly from Chennai, I hope there will be such flights soon. It's possible to fly from Chennai to Dubai, Dubai, and then Dubai to Kazan. So there are not only Moscow to Kazan flights. There are other flights, and you may fly to Astana, Kazan, Dubai, Kazan, Sharjah, Kazan, Istanbul, Kazan. So some students who use different connecting airports, not only Moscow.
So sorry to interrupt you. Can you explain about the examination patterns, sir? What will be the examination patterns?
Exams? So we have various forms of exams. So our course is divided into semesters. Every year we have 2 semesters. In 6 years there will be 12 semesters. One semester from September, usually from September. This year they maybe will start a little later, but usually it's from the 1st of September till end of December. Then there will be exams in January. In January, usually there will be 2 exams. Then short winter vacations. In winter, usually vacations last 10 days, 2 weeks vacations in January. It's quite cold time, but there will be vacations in that time. Then from February till end of May, next semester. And in June, 3 exams. So usually we'll have 2 exams in winter, and usually we'll have 3 exams in summer. Some exams will be in form of a written form. You'll need to write an essay in some exams. That depends on subject. But usually there will be oral, viva form. You'll get exam ticket, exam paper with list of questions. You'll have some time to prepare, like 20, 30 minutes to prepare. And then you'll sit next to professor and you'll need to talk and explain everything you know on each of questions. Also, some of exams will include skills, and professor will ask you, please, what you can auscultate in this patient. You'll take phonendoscope and you'll try to do auscultation, listening to hot sound. Like, can you recognize hot murmur? Bad hot sound called hot murmurs. If patient has heart problems, you'll need to be able to recognize it. That depends on subject. Or on surgery, you'll need to put a plaster of Paris or bandage. No, I told you only about winter vacations. Winter vacations, 10, 14 days. But there are certainly summer vacations. So after June exams, there will be usually 2-3 weeks of summer practice. So from end of June till middle of July, there will be summer practice. I told you that summer practice can be done in Russia or can be done in India. Summer practice. After summer practice, there will be a test, and also you'll need to have a diary of your summer practice, observation practice, what you have seen during practice. And then 6 weeks of summer vacations. From middle of July till end of August, summer vacations. So half of summer and 2 weeks in January. Those are our vacations. Plus, there are holidays, like we have international holidays and some religious holidays. So there would be day off during Christmas. There would be a day off during Easter. There would be day off during Women's Day, International Women's Day. There will be day off during Day of Russia. There will be additional, like plus 1 day to weekend. Some weekends will last 2-3 days. MCI coaching given in our university. It's included in program. So in the senior years, 5th and 6th course, students will train to pass screening tests. During vacation, certain students certainly allowed to visit India, certainly allowed. But I can tell you that not every student will use this opportunity because of cost of flights. If you fly during January, during Christmas, I hope you realize that there will be few tickets and you'll need to book tickets half of year ahead. If you haven't booked tickets ahead, you'll not be able to fly, or you'll need to buy business class. Because in Christmas vacations time, it is quite difficult to fly, but it's possible. If you're able to buy tickets during that busy periods, it's possible. You may fly even in other times if you have some family problems, but you'll need to return to classes as soon as possible. So our usual fee for flight is 60,000 return flight. So one direction flight is usually 30,000. Return flight will be 60, but that's usual fee, usual flight fee. If you fly in Christmas time, it will be more expensive because free tickets will be sold out very soon. So cheap tickets will be sold out very soon. It can even, or vice versa, parents can travel to Kazan, to Russia. Some people invite their parents, and together they visit places of interest. Kazan have lots of nice places to see. Some of our students even do additional things. I hope you know that some of our students, they stayed in Russia because this year we have much less flights. But instead of going to India, they travel to Moscow. Some of Indian students travel to St. Petersburg, and it can be done. It's not restricted. It's possible. Certainly, it will be extra expenses, but it's not too expensive. It's possible.
So can I also explain
like flight to Moscow, 4,000, train to Moscow, 2,000. But Moscow hotels are quite expensive. 4,000 per night in Moscow hotel, 4,000 per night in Moscow hotel. Moscow is quite expensive.
So can also explain about the class timings there. Sorry to interrupt you. Can you explain about the class timings, when the class starts and when the
class timings? Okay, class timings. Usually our classes start at 8 in the morning, and last till 4 or 5 p.m. In some weeks, class will start at night and will finish at 5:30 p.m. So from 8 to 4:30 p.m. or from 9 to 5:30 p.m. Usually like that. And in the middle of that day, there will be lunch break. Plus short breaks between seminars, 15 minutes between seminars breaks, and 1 hour of lunch break, 1 hour of lunch break. On Saturdays, classes last less. On Saturdays, classes last from 9 to 2 p.m., 9 to 3 p.m. A little shorter on Saturdays. So students study 6 days. 6 days, like attendance. That's an important question. Attendance is important, and we have rating system in most departments. We have rating system. We count how many classes missed. And if student missed many classes, final mark will be reduced because of that. Computer will calculate the percentage of attendance, and not so good percentage of attendance will affect the final mark. Also, if student missed more than 50% of program, that means 50% of classes and 50% of seminars, then that course will be considered to be failed, and student will need to repeat the course, will need to stay on the same course for 1 more year. So if student missed 1 or 2 classes, it's not a tragedy. It's possible to continue. If student missed 5, 7 classes, it will decrease your rating. But if student missed 20 classes, that may result in repeating the course, staying 1 more year. As for exams, if student fails exam, we give additional attempts. For example, this year we had exam in June, and our exams are just over in June. Some students, not many, but some students failed exams, and then they'll be given 1 more attempt in September. In September to clear the exam. Then 1 more attempt in October or November. And if student does not clear all of those attempts, was not able to pass exams, then student will not be allowed to get to next course. Student will be also repeating the course. So we give 3 attempts. 1 in summer and 2 in autumn.
Amuda, Hari, Padma, do you have any more questions? Dolly, Sri Hari, Inika.
So we have another faculty, that's Dr. Aysu Garifovna, and she is a faculty of Latin, just foreign languages and Latin language. And maybe she'd like to add something or maybe explain something. Just she has her own experience, and also she has good experience in guiding students to cultural activities. She also has experience in common cultural activities with students, not only Latin, but also common activities. Maybe she'd like to explain what are the other activities like opera, theater, or maybe other activities. Huh? I forgot it. Would you like to explain your experience of our students?
Объяснение с огромным интересом. Вы знаете, все у вас очень систематизировано и все очень хорошо. Я не знаю, что я могу еще добавить.
Про культурную активность.
Yes,
про то, что какие есть занятия культурные. У вас же есть вот эти программы?
Но вы понимаете, какая вещь? Я сейчас сижу дома, и у меня нет возможности. Вы из деканата, что ли, да?
Да.
Все понятно.
Серьезно?
Welcome, madam. How are you, madam?
Fine, thank you. Fine, thank you. So glad to see you. Glad to meet you again. So please, I am satisfied, and with greatest interest, I listened to my colleague, young colleague, but very skillful, a high level of experience and work with students. So I like his presentation, and he did it on the highest level. So as for me, I would like to tell you just about common things. Common things are the most popular, but no one knows about them. So because in the official side, they are not given, because common life is just under the curtains, under the screen. So, and we must, but we cannot allow ourselves to forget about it. So first of all, about visiting and coming to our lessons. Of course, lessons start from 8 o'clock and may be up to 6 o'clock in the evening. There may be long breaks, not even because of, for example, break for dinner, break for lunch. No, nothing of the kind. Our students must know that their teachers are practicing doctors, and they are working. And we try to build, especially the dean's office, build the timetable, the schedule, just counting, being busy, all other doctors. They are practical physicians. This is the main point. The first and the second year of studies, it is theoretical part. And theoretical part, of course, all teachers are in one building. Most of them are in the new building. Some of them are in physiology and histology building and anatomy building. Just, I see it on the screen, this is our anatomy theater, and it is just seen in the picture. So most of the teachers of the first and the second year students are in one building, which is called new building. And they are just gathered in one building. But after some time, just beginning from the second and even especially from the third year, they spread all over the city. All our departments are in hospitals. All our departments are in active work in hospitals, and all teachers are practicing doctors. That is why it is very difficult to manage the schedule, and there may be breaks. But these breaks will not bring difficulties to the students. They may attend libraries, they may have got some rest, they may go home and come back to their evening studies. So it is quite possible. When coming to the lessons, please explain to all the students which are going to come here, they must be strict and come according to the timetable. If it is given as 8 o'clock, they must be here at 8 o'clock. Why I'm speaking about it? Because in winter, the days are very short and the nights are longer here. Now in summer, we have got the longest day. It is daytime up to 9 or 10 o'clock. And the daytime begins at 2 at midnight. Is it clear? At 2 o'clock, I can open my eyes and just see the sun. It is unusual for India. It's quite impossible for India. And at 4 o'clock, the sun shines to the window of my small flat. Is it clear? So, and it is something special, which Indian students doesn't know. They don't know about it at all. So that is why in winter, when the lesson begins, it may be very dark, and they must go out from the hostel when it is dark. And at 8 o'clock, when the daytime just appears, they must be in their lessons. So this is the problem. They must get up at 6 o'clock or 6:30, and they must be active, not paying attention to the darkness in the streets. So this is the main point. Another thing.
May I interrupt you just for a minute?
Oh.
What you are saying is true. And during January and December, our nights are really long. On the contrary, in June we have very long daytime. Also true. But I need to add that it's not for the entire winter time. Just it's quite dark in December. In December we have really dark.
Then the students must be very active.
Yeah.
And it's very dull for them to go out from their warm rooms and to go out when it is cold. But they have come here for studies, and they must think about it every day.
Maybe even I have a little different view on that, because students are away from their parents and away from other people, and they'll be responsible for themselves. So there will be no mother who will be telling, please wake up, it's time to go to classes. One of the skills they'll need to gain is the responsibility for themselves, and they'll need to motivate themselves. That's right. And I completely agree that they should have that motto that we came here to become doctors. We are starting to become doctors, and despite of short daytime in winter, despite of that, in December it will be quite short, but we are rewarded by we get a reward of long daytime in May. We have very long sunny time in May and June, but quite dark November and December.
I am busy just now. I'm sorry.
So that's why one of the main thing is even that your personal motivation for students.
I'm very sorry, but I will continue.
Okay.
Well, you see, you said that they must be responsible. Of course, very often they are really responsible. Most of them are coming in time, but some of the students, well, don't forget that they are teenagers. They were treated at home. They were treated in care and attention. When they come here, they are lonely, and it is the greatest stress for all teenagers. At home, they were surrounded with tender attention, but here they are quite lonely. So they must be sure that there are teachers who will, at any case, help them. There is another point about which you started talking, but I will continue. So you told them that there is hostel number 4, number 5. Yes, but they are social hostels. And the places in that hostels are, of course, very cheap. And later, they will value it because they have got very cheap place for living, but the places are limited. The number of places is limited. That is why we have got private hostels which allow them to stay here, a little bit more expensive, but not less comfortable. It is also comfortable. They may be a little bit far from the university building, but it doesn't mean that it is not available. No, it takes 20 or 15 minutes for coming to the university building. It is very popular, and our students like these private hostels. I have seen them, I visited some of them, and I consider that the conditions in which they are living quite passable. They are not bad.
Yeah.
Some hostels are not very far from our university, but at the same time, very often students take taxi, take car. Why? Because there may be ice in the streets, and it is very difficult for them to move on the icy pavement. Very often they fall and they have got problem.
Actually, that completely requires, that simply requires that they need to buy adequate boots. That's not a big problem.
That is why, please explain to all the children, I mean parents, of course, just to have several pairs of shoes. One pair of shoes for winter, another pair of shoes for autumn and for spring. There is another point. Slippers, of course, and shoes for summer are very popular in India, and very often they are coming in slippers or in summer shoes. It is very dangerous. When they come here, it is very cold and they may catch cold. That is why, please try to buy some shoes, some more pairs.
Yes, I can add. Slippers are really welcomed if you carry slippers to university buildings, because in university buildings you're not allowed to walk inside in winter shoes, because you may bring lots of dirt in winter shoes. So that's why you may carry that slippers in your bag, slippers, slippers, and then change your winter shoes to slippers. So we use slippers for inside the building. Inside.
Timur, slippers are forbidden in the university.
Yes, yeah.
Slippers
Алгоритм. Давайте не будем о частности. Нет, ничего. Алгоритм. У нас вы надо генеральной линии придерживаться. And I'll reply one more question. There was an important question. Is it allowed to work inside? Is it allowed to work in Russia? So we have a list of restrictions, and it's not allowed to work.
It is not.
Like a taxi driver is not allowed, for example, if you want to raise some money. But you may ask to let you to work as a nurse.
So sorry to interrupt you. What can you explain about the dress code inside the university, sir?
No, it depends. And I have a colleague here, and she's adding that a list of restrictions may be decreased. As far I remember, that times when students was only allowed to work in the direction in the field connected to the college. If student studies medicine, then it's allowed to work in a hospital, for example, nurse, or like to carry stretchers, to work in ambulance. But this year I got a news that there is new law that a list of job opportunities would be increased for students, and maybe it will be allowed to work almost in every field, not only in medicine. That's why just my answer changes. Yes, just come. Yes, possible to work.
Sir, can you explain about the dress code?
It may require better knowledge of Russian, certainly. That's why it would be difficult for new students. But as soon as you learn Russian, and we teach Russian also, from third year, maybe it's possible for some. And one more thing, it's already 10 minutes to 3, and I have duty.
Yeah.
Just I'm not a physician actually. I am a diagnostic doctor.
Okay.
My work is laboratory. I have laboratory job today. So maybe you have some just urgent questions, and in 5 minutes I'll need to wind up.
No more questions. No, we can close.
If I forgot, if no, it's willing to continue, but I have only 5 minutes left.
No, sir. There is no more questions from the student side, sir.
Мне в течение 5 минут надо идти, да. 5 minutes. 5.
Отвечайте на вопросы.
I already answered most of the questions.
Sir, can you explain about the dress code, sir, in the university?
Dress code. We have compulsory apron.
White robe and shoes.
Yeah.
Shoes should be changed.
Okay.
Shoes for street and full shoes for inside, and white robe for all students.
Okay. I think so. Students, any more questions? The delegates are waiting for you. They can answer your questions. Is there any more questions? Naveen, Amuda, Ashwini, Manobala, Padma, Srihari, Alan, Inika. There are 11 participants there, but still there is no question from them. Okay, thank you, Mr. Timur, and thank you, madam. I think so. All the things have been well explained by Mr. Timur. So I think so. There is no question from our participants. We can close here, madam. Thank you. Namaste.
Okay, thank you for listening and interest. Thank you for your time, and good luck.
Good luck, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, madam.
Thank you.
Okay.
I thank you. And students, if you want to know anything in Tamil, our senior counselor is there. You can hear in Tamil.
And last thing, that admissions are arranged by study abroad educational consultants. Those are official partners in India, so they already have experience in all document processing, and we trust them completely. They are like good friends and partners.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
Participants, please wait. Our senior counselor will join you shortly.
எல்லாருக்கும் வணக்கம். என் பேர் சையத். நான் சீனியர் ஸ்டூடெண்ட் கவுன்சிலர் இன் ஸ்டடி அப்ராட் எஜுகேஷனல் கன்சல்டன்ட்ஸ் ரஷ்யன் கல்ச்சரல் சென்டர். இப்போ கேட்டிருப்பீங்க, கசான் ஸ்டேட் மெடிக்கல் யூனிவர்சிட்டியுடைய இவர் ப்ரொஃபஸரும் இவங்களும் மேடமுடைய இதுவும் லாட்டின் மேமுடைய இதுவும். உங்களுக்கு அதில் ஏதாவது சந்தேகங்கள் எதுவும் இருந்துச்சுன்னா கேளுங்க, தமிழில் சொல்கிறேன். மேபி எல்லாமே கிளியராக இருக்கும், ஏன்னா அவங்க ரொம்ப கிளீனாக தான் சொல்லுவாங்க. கிளீனாக இருக்கும்னு நான் நம்புகிறேன். ஏதாவது கொஸ்டின்ஸ் இருக்கா? அட்மிஷன் ப்ரொசீஜர் அட்மிஷன் ப்ரொசீஜர் பற்றி சொல்லணும்னா, அதான் ஸ்டடி அப்ராட் எஜுகேஷன் கன்சல்டன்ஸ். அது வந்து ஆழ்வார்பேட்டையில் இருக்கிற ரஷ்யன் கல்ச்சுரல் சென்டர் உள்ள இருக்குது. ரஷ்யன் கல்ச்சுரல் சென்டருங்கிறது வந்து நாட் லைக் அதர் பிரைவேட் ஏஜென்சி. இது வந்து ரஷ்யன் எம்பசியுடைய கல்ச்சுரல் டிபார்ட்மெண்ட், அதனுடைய எஜுகேஷன் தான். எஜுகேஷன் டிபார்ட்மெண்ட். ஸோ அட்மிஷன் ப்ரொசீஜர் பற்றி சொல்றதுக்கு முன்னாடி ஃபர்ஸ்ட் நீங்க இந்த காலேஜை பத்தி நான் ஒரு 2 மினிட்ஸ் கொஞ்சம் சொல்லிடுறேன். ஏன்னா உங்களுக்கு அந்த காலேஜை பத்தியும் தெரியணும்ல. கசான்ங்கிறது வந்து தத்தார்ஸ்தான்ங்கிற ஒரு ஸ்டேட்டுடைய நேம்ல அதனுடைய கேபிட்டல் பேர் கசான். இப்போ வந்து தமிழ்நாடுங்கிறது ஸ்டேட் நேம், கேபிட்டல் நேம் சென்னைங்கிற மாதிரி தத்தார்ஸ்தான்ங்கிறது வந்து அந்த ஸ்டேட்டுடைய நேமு, அதனுடைய கேபிட்டல் கசான். இது வந்து மாஸ்கோல இருந்து 820 கிலோமீட்டர்ஸ் 820 கிலோமீட்டர் தூரத்துல இருக்கு. ஹார்ட்லி 1 hour பை ஃபிளைட்ல மாஸ்கோல இருந்து ரீச் ஆயிடலாம். இது இந்த யூனிவர்சிட்டி இந்த சிட்டி எப்படின்னா மோஸ்ட்லி பாப்புலேட்டட் இன் முஸ்லிம்ஸ் அண்ட் கிறிஸ்டின், 2 பேரும் நிறைய பாப்புலேஷன் உள்ள ஒரு சிட்டி. ரொம்ப நீட்டா இருக்கும். அதுக்கடுத்து காலேஜ் பத்தி சொல்லணும்னா 1814வது வருடம் தோற்றுவிக்கப்பட்டது. ரொம்ப ஓல்டஸ்ட் யூனிவர்சிட்டி கூட. ஸோ பட் எவ்வளவு ஓல்டஸ்டோ அந்த அளவுக்கு ஸ்ட்ரிக்டும் கூட. ரொம்ப ரொம்ப ஒரு ஸ்ட்ரிக்டான யூனிவர்சிட்டி. அதாவது கிளாஸ்லாம் அவ்வளோ ஸ்ட்ரிக்டா இருக்கும். கரெக்டா கிளாஸுக்கு டைமிங் பெண்ணு, அதெல்லாம் ரொம்ப ரொம்ப முக்கியம். அதுக்கு அடுத்தபடியா வந்து காலேஜில் வந்து எல்லாம் எக்ஸ்பீரியன்ஸ்டு ப்ரொஃபஸர்ஸ். ரொம்ப ஓல்டஸ்ட் யூனிவர்சிட்டியில் ஸோ எக்ஸ்பீரியன்ஸ்டு ப்ரொஃபஸர்ஸ்லாம் இருக்காங்க. ஸோ அடுத்தது கிளைமேட்டிக்கல் கண்டிஷனை பொறுத்தவரைக்கும் ஒரு -15 20 முடிக்கும் கூட போகும். ஸ்னோலாம் ஃபால் ஆகும். பட் எல்லா இடத்துலையும் ஹீட்டாக இருக்கும். இது வந்து ஜென்ரலாக அது கசான் பற்றின உள்ள டீட்டெயில். வேற எதுவும் கேள்விகள் எதுவும் இருந்துச்சுன்னா, அதாவது வந்து இன்னொருத்தவங்க கேட்டிருந்தாங்க, அவர் கூட ஒர்க் பண்ணலான்னு. கேன் வி ஒர்க் தேர்வு ஃபர்ஸ்ட் வந்து ஒரு விஷயம் நீங்க நல்லா புரிஞ்சுக்கணும். டாக்டர் படிப்புங்கிறது உங்களுக்கு 24 மணி நேரமே பத்தாது. அதில் நீங்க வெளியில ஒர்க் பண்றதுங்கிறதுலாம் சாத்தியமே இல்லாத பேச்சு. அதுக்கெல்லாம் வந்து வாய்ப்பே கிடையாது. பிகாஸ் நீங்க அதுக்கு போனீங்கன்னா உங்களுக்கு படிக்கிறதுக்கு நேரம் இருக்காது. பிகாஸ் நீங்க வந்து மெடிக்கலை பொறுத்த வரைக்கும் படிச்சுக்கிட்டே இருக்கணும். ஸோ அந்த அளவுக்கு கமிட்டடா இருக்கணும். சரியா? வேற ஏதாவது கொஸ்டின்ஸ் இருக்கா? ஓகே. என் நம்பர் கேட்குறாங்க. என் மொபைல், என் பேர் வந்து சையத், சீனியர் ஸ்டூடெண்ட் கவுன்சிலர். என்னோட மொபைல் நம்பர் 9094787877. இந்த 2 இது என்னோட நம்பரை வந்து நான் சாட் ரூம்லேயும் போடுறேன். உங்களுக்கு எதுவும் டவுட் எதுவாக இருந்தாலும் என்னை நீங்க தொடர்பு கொண்டு இது பண்ணலாம். ஸோ என்னோட வாட்ஸ்அப் நம்பரும் போட்டிருக்கிறேன். உங்களுக்கு எதாவது டவுட் இருக்குதா இருந்துச்சுன்னா எஸ்ன்னு போடுங்க. ஏதாவது தமிழ்ல கேட்கறதா இருந்தா கூட மைக்கை ரிலீஸ் பண்ணிட்டு மியூட்டை எடுத்துட்டு நீங்க கேட்கலாம். அப்படி இல்லைன்னா நோ இல்லை சார்னா அந்த அமுதாங்கிறவங்க போட்டாங்க நோண்டு. அதே போல வந்து யாருக்கும் டவுட் இல்லைன்னா நோண்டு போட்டுருங்க. இந்த செஷன் க்ளோஸ் பண்ணிக்கலாம். அப்புறம் வந்து சண்டே வந்து என்னுடைய ஒரு ஃபுல் கவுன்சிலிங் இன் தமிழ்ல வந்து ஒரு ஃபுல் கவுன்சிலிங் இருக்குது. சண்டே மார்னிங் 11:30க்கு. இஃப் ஆர் இன்ட்ரெஸ்டட், ஏற்கனவே நிக்கா செல்வநாயகன் சார்லாம் கேட்டிருக்காங்க லிங்க் அனுப்பிவிட சொல்லி. வேற யாருக்காவது வந்து உங்களுக்கு வேற யாருக்காவது இருந்துச்சுன்னா வேணும், இன்ட்ரெஸ்டா இருக்கும், வந்து நாங்கள் ஒரு 1 hour ஸ்பெண்ட் பண்றோம் சார், தெரிஞ்சுக்கிறோம் அப்படின்னா டெஃபினட்டா இதுல போடுங்க. நான் வந்து இல்லை சார் செல்வநாயகன் சார், இல்லை நாளைக்கு மீட்டிங் இல்லை சார், நாளன்னைக்கு காலையில சண்டே மார்னிங் 11:30க்கு ஒரு ஃபுல் இது இருக்குது சார். ஓகே, இவங்க அமுதாக்கு லிங்க் சென்ட் பண்ணுங்க. வேற யார் யாருக்கு லிங்க் வேணுமோ சண்டே கவுன்சிலிங்க்கு உங்களுக்கு அதுல கலந்துக்கிட்டீங்கன்னா உங்களுக்கு ஃபுல்லாவே என்ன ஏதுன்னு புரிஞ்சிடும். வேற யாருக்கு லிங்க் வேணும்னா இதுல போடுங்க. மனோஜ் சார் வந்து உங்களுக்கு அந்த லிங்க் சென்ட் பண்ணுவாரு. ஆல்ரெடி செல்வநாயகன் சார் வந்து கேட்டாங்க, முன்னாடியே லேட்டே கேட்டாங்க லிங்க் சென்ட் பண்ண சொல்லி. ஆலன் உங்களுக்கு, பத்மா,
நான் லிங்க் அனுப்புற சொல்ல இருக்குமே நான்.
ஓகே ஓகே ஓகே. பத்மாக்கு கொஸ்டின்ஸ் இல்லை. ஸோ யாருக்கும் கொஸ்டின்ஸ் இல்லைன்னு நினைக்கிறேன். ஸோ செஷன் க்ளோஸ் பண்ணிக்கலாம்னு நினைக்கிறேன். சரியா? அவங்களுக்கு வந்து பத்மாக்கு இது லிங்க் சென்ட் பண்ணுங்க.
ஓகே சார், தேங்க்ஸ் சார்.
ஆலன்.
ஹலோ
ஆலன், உங்களுக்கு லிங்க் சென்ட் பண்ணலாமா? நீங்க ஏற்கனவே கேட்டது தானே?
சார் கேட்டுக்கேன் சார் நான்.
ஓகே ஓகே ஓகே. நீங்க ஏற்கனவே என்னோட கவுன்சிலிங். ஓகேம்மா. ஓகே, தேங்க்யூ.
சார்
நன்றி.
தேங்க்யூ சார்.